Magnetic Sports. My name is Brian, and we are here to give you a recap of what is happening in the sporting world. And I just have to remind you that Africa, East Africa, specifically, will be hosting the African Cup of Nations 2027. And this is why this page is really dedicated to enlighten you of what is happening around the three East African countries, and of course, not leaving alone our neighbors as they contribute to the region, because East Africa has so many nations in there, not only the three, but the three are the major nations that are really working so hard to see what is really happening in build up to the African Cup of Nations 2027. So many stadiums have been built, and so many of them being renovated here in Uganda. Mandela National Stadium, we have the Hoima City Stadium that is under construction. We have the Kibwa Stadium, and I'm just going to be giving you a few of the information as well as updates concerning this, because I have a lot of people that comment and ask what is happening in there. And of course, later on, we are going to be discussing again something to do with Tanzania and Kenya. Some Tanzanians, some people, not only Tanzanians, but people who really believe Tanzania is better, have failed to understand the argument. So I'll be coming back to the argument as well to enlighten you and give you a few statistics as well as a few images for you to look at and judge for yourselves of why I really consider of the two countries, I think Kenya is a little bit step ahead, and as compared to a few things that I've based on. That does not mean entirely that Kenya is better than Tanzania, but of the things that we are using to measure which country is better, that is where I'm going to be, of course, giving you a few statistics for you to really judge yourselves. And of course, one of the few updates beginning with the local scene. A lot of people have been asking what is really happening to the Kibwa Stadium. A lot of people have been questioning whether construction is already on. What is really happening? When is it beginning? I can tell you that construction is not yet there. We are not yet there. There is not anything like showing. There's not even been a groundbreaking, but I saw, of course, on a few reputable journalists, one of them being Ismail Chiyonga, and other gentlemen around coming out and talking about these issues of how Uganda is preparing. And of course, in some of the tweets I saw, one of them, if I can just find it for you, one of them showing that I just wanted to find for you the tweet. And of course, it's a gentleman who came out and talked about how the First Lady is likely to break ground for the long-awaited Akibwa Olympic Stadium. And of course, it's going to be in Lirasi in northern Uganda. It's going to be a 20,000 capacity seater, and Samco Egypt is one of course, the contractors that have been given over 550 billion Uganda shillings in the budget by the Ministry of Finance. And of course, they already allocated 100 billion for the beginning of the project. And I think a lot of people are anticipating the groundbreaking process to be beginning over this November. By the end of this November, we shall be receiving something according to the news that is coming. It's going to be having a 25-meter Olympic that is a running track, and it's going to be 25-meter Olympic size swimming pool. It's going to be having a parking for over 1,000 cars. It's going to be having, of course, 2,000-seater indoor games arena. It's going to be called the Apollo Military Obota Arena, according to a lot of the rumors that are circulating around. And of course, it's going to be having a lot of components. So these are a few of the images as you're seeing that are showing an artistic, impression of what it might be looking like. Of course, I'm putting it there because the person who put it there is a journalist that we really trust, and we trust him with a lot of information around. So hopefully that is how it's going to be looking like. We are waiting to see whether Samco will be delivering in that is an ample time. We've not seen anything on ground progressing, but we're waiting to see whether that will be happening. On the other side, for you that have been asking, a lot of people asking, is there any other update from Hoima? We shall give you the update as soon as it comes. I put the update here on this page, and I showed you what is really happening. And of course, it's now been a week, and we expect a little bit more because Suma, as a company that is constructing the Hoima City Stadium, they give occasional updates, videos of things showing how the progress is really going. So let us be patient as we wait to see how things will be happening in there. And of course, away from that, I want to respond to one of the comments in the previous video from a gentleman called David Luangisa. He's a gentleman, I think, from Tanzania. He said, we're on ground, we know. That is in relationship to the last video that I posted here. He said, we're on ground, we know what we have achieved so far. You mentioned 3 international airports in Tanzania, which is not true, but let us wait 2027. We will be having 7 of them, I mean international airports, and you cannot compare today Nyerere International Airport to Jomo Kenyatta. Check on the prominent Kenya activist Morota Kebaso, comparing the two. I lived in Uganda for 12 years. I know how Ugandans are overtaken by Kenya. Let me tell you, Mother Tanzania is far better infrastructure-wise today. Don't be obsessed by the ancient Google stats. Now, David Lugisa, there are a lot of things that you can say about this argument, but it's not about what you think. It's not about what you've even called him a Kenyan activist, Morata Kebaso. One thing I can tell you about activists, without even looking to what he talked about this whole thing, they really want to make their case. Most of activists will always be against the government, or will always be against the development, because for them, they want to, usually they want to portray what they want to portray, especially showing that the governments are really bad. So even if you go in your own country, even if you come here to Uganda, opposition will not say positive things about government. So I am not saying that it doesn't have any point in there, but I'm saying that is what an activist does. He really finds the negatives and tries to expose the government for them to be better. So that is why I cannot take his word as the final word. Secondly, let us go to a few things that you people have been complaining about. Aman Stadium, all the way in Zanzibar. It's one of the best. I told you yesterday that Tanzania has like 2 stadiums already that are looking all set, and I said the Amam Stadium, as well as that is the stadium, the main stadium from that is Tanzania. I'm forgetting the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, are the 2 stadiums that look already set. In fact, even before this, I had already talked about Aman Stadium, some videos back showing how it is really looking very good in Zanzibar. It was renovated, and we still know that it has a capacity of 15,000. Yes, like I told you, Kenya has 2 stadiums that are 60,000 capacity, that are one is renovated and one is being built. So you cannot compete with it when it comes to capacity, because it has 2 better stadiums, one of them being totally new and totally upgraded. That is why the Amaholo Stadium is one of the highly rated stadiums around East Africa, because of its capacity, and it's new when it comes to technology and all the other things that have been added into that stadium. So again, Benjamin Mkapa will be a good stadium, but you will not compare it to either Talanta Sports City Stadium because of the renovations, as well as you cannot compare it to the other Kasarani Stadium, because the things that are going to be implemented are new things that are with new technology and new ways of really executing work in there. So it is a good stadium. Aman Stadium is a very good stadium, and it has beautiful stuff. It has 2 training grounds, 2 side pitches. It has very good stuff, and I think it will give Tanzania really a very good hosting. And Zanzibar is just a beautiful island, and we really would want to see games in there. But when we go to the actual facts of, we've been talking about air transport and which looks better. A lot of you have told me, why don't we compare hotels? I can say that yes, Tanzania is one of the few countries that have very good hotels, especially the ones that are located in Zanzibar. Over 75 that is 5-star hotels have been really, according to, if you really go searching around, there are so many of them. Of course, Kenya has over 78 of them, but one of the things I can say, they are good hotels, like the Residency Zanzibar, the Melia Zanzibar, Baraza Resort and Spa. You have a lot of them. Park Hyatt Zanzibar, you have a lot of them. Esau Zaru Zanzibar, Singita Sekakwa Lodge as well in Serengeti. In fact, Serengeti, one of the few places that has a lot of good hotels because of the number of tourists that come into there. Kenya, of course, like I told you, they have their own good hotels. Hemingway's Nairobi. We have the Fairmont and Fairmont, the North Fork. One of the other hotels in there, Shorova Stanley, all located in Nairobi, all looking like, there's a list of them. I cannot mention all of them, but I just wanted to show you that there are some of the beautiful hotels in there. And another argument that people don't really understand, when I talk about traffic coming into Kenya, and talking about how Jomo Kenyatta International Airport is the busiest in East Africa. That you cannot underestimate, that you cannot refuse, that you cannot rule out, because it is the busiest. And on the list here in Africa, it is rated number 6 in there, with over 6 million passengers that are going through that airport. The one thing that Tanzanians are confusing, or people in the argument that are confusing with, with Kenya, is that they are looking at the biggest number of tourists and not looking at the traffic. Kenya has both tourists and they have both, like I told you, it's a business hub. So there are a lot of people that have stopovers because currently, when you look at the World Travel Awards, World Travel Awards is the awards that were generated by a gentleman. I don't want to go to the history, but they are acknowledged as one of, you can call it the Ballon d'Or of travel and everything to do with travel. So the awards that have been there ever since. You can call them the Oscars of the travel industry. They have been there since 1993. And of course, just like you see the Ballon d'Or, it's not, it's something that was built by an idea by someone. Then they came and made it official to be the official awards for football. So that is why you can argue whatever you can, but it is awarded the best when it comes to that. So when you look at the World Travel Awards and you see how, these things are all rated. First of all, if you've not had a chance to look at that, let me just give you snapshots of what really is happening in the world of travel. Just look at that website. I just wanted to give you a picture of how the website looks like. Then when you're arguing with me, you can go back and refer to whatever I'm giving you, and then do not qualify, disqualify it, or you qualify it with the way things are happening. According to the World Travel Awards 2024, this is how Kenya is performing, and this is how I take it as number one, why I rate it. The first thing, when you look at the first page, you look at the best leading airline in 2024. The leading airline is Kenya Airways. That is the first award. The second award is Africa Leading Airline Business Class. That is Kenya Airways. The other award is Africa Leading Airline Brand 2024, Kenya Airways. Leading Airport, Jomo Kenyatta Airport. Leading Airport Hotel in 2024, 4 points by Sheraton Nairobi Airport. That is in Kenya. There is also Africa Leading Beach Destinations, Dani Beach in Kenya. Africa Leading Beach Resort 2024, Swahili Beach in Kenya. You look at Africa Leading Boutique Resort, Billionaire Resort and Retreat in Kenya. You have Africa Leading Business Travel Destination. Now, that is where the key factor is. Africa Leading Travel Destination, Business Travel Destination. That is Nairobi, Kenya. So that is what I was talking about, and you people did not understand when I was mentioning this. When you look at the other things, Africa Leading City Hotel, Fairmont, Norfolk, like I told you, in Kenya, and Africa Leading Design Hotel, Tribe Hotel in Kenya, Africa Leading Family Resort. It's another one. It's called Boabab Beach Resort all the way, and Spa in Kenya. Africa Leading Hotel 2024, Fairmont, Fairmont, Mount Kenya. That is a Mount Kenya Safari Club. That is Africa Leading Hotel 2024. Africa Leading Hotel Residences. The residences at Leopard Beach and Spa. Africa Leading In-Flight Magazine, Msafiri. That is all the way in Kenya Airways. And of course, those are the few things that you can look at and ask yourself, am I just getting this out of the blue? Tanzania has its own as well. When you look at Tanzania, it has the leading destination 2024. Now, that is different from leading business destination, because a lot of people would want to travel, and this is where the tourists come in. Tanzania is one of the best when it comes to East Africa, when it comes to tourists. So they are one of the leading when it comes to tourists. Leading festival and event destination, they also hold that, but they are not the place that has the biggest number of traffic. So you can see the difference. And Jomo Kenyatta International Airport is the busiest in East Africa when it comes to traffic, because it holds both the tourists that Tanzania leads in, and also it has the business people. It's a business hub in Africa here. And you can even compare the ports as well. Mombasa is one of the leading ports around East Africa. When you see the map of the statistics that were given in 2022 and a lot of statistics coming in, you will see that Mombasa still is holding when it comes to business. It's among the top 10 in the previous 3 years when it comes to ports that really do business. So I am not just coming out of the blue and saying that Kenya are a little bit slightly leading. I am saying they are a little better off as compared to the other things. I am not saying Tanzania is not developed. A lot of people are really confusing that. Tanzania are very developed when you cannot compare some of countries like Uganda or the other people around to countries like Tanzania. In fact, I don't know why even Uganda comes into this argument, because we always have Ugandans coming in and making their point, usually to make themselves you well heard. We Ugandans are good at that. But when it comes to statistics, reality, Tanzania and Kenya are miles ahead. And I am not disapproving the fact that Tanzania is really improving and going very fast. In 2027, they might be even better than Kenya, or they might be miles ahead. But at the moment, you can argue with your keyboard, you can argue with anyone. Kenya are still having strides ahead according to the statistics I've showed you. And of course, that is what I wanted to share with you. Of course, we'll be coming back with another update, as well as more arguments like this here on Brinetic Sports. My name is Brian. Have yourself a good day. Stay safe. And I should say bye-bye for now.